Am I the asshole for screwing up my brother's adoption on purpose? My brother, 32 male, and his wife, 34 female, have fertility issues and chose adoption. Our family is very wealthy, so they went the route of finding mothers directly. The way my brother describes it, they are trading support during the pregnancy for the baby at the end. They found a very sweet woman, Sarah, 19 female, who is very poor. Sister-in-law messaged her from a post Sarah made on a Buy Nothing group asking for prenatal vitamins. After several meetups, Sarah agreed that she has very few options. She signed paperwork that allows my brother and sister-in-law to pay for and attend her appointments throughout the pregnancy. Another form of support they offered her was talking to me, because I went through a teen pregnancy at 17. I'm now 24 and my son is 7. When I first met her, she was amazed that I'd managed to keep my son. We've continued to meet up over the last 3 months and have gotten close. About 2 weeks ago, I was hanging out with Sarah after one of her appointments. She was quiet and sad. After some prompting, she told me she was devastated that she couldn't raise her son like I could. She said it was painful to have my brother and sister-in-law in the room discussing her son's future. Here's where I screwed up. I felt awful that Sarah felt trapped into giving up her baby. I never had to consider giving up my son. My parents literally just gave us all enough money / real estate, etc., that I could never work again and still raise my son with luxuries. So I asked her how much money she thought she would need in order to keep her son. She was confused by the question. I told her that her son was her first son, and I would help her keep him if she actually wanted to. She seemed shocked and left the restaurant without saying much. 3 days ago, she told me she had done the math, and she sent me a thorough spreadsheet, including medical care, rent, and food during her recovery, which she only allowed herself 3 weeks for, and very limited baby supplies. The list was very cheap and included a schedule for how she would pay me back. We met up and I told her I would give her everything she asked for, plus significantly more supplies and higher rent for a longer period of time. I also told her I would pay for vocational training and that she didn't have to pay me back. She was floored and accepted everything except for insisting on a schedule for repayment, which I don't plan on enforcing. She backed out of the adoption that night. Both my brother and sister-in-law are heartbroken and livid with both of us. She had to block them, and I moved temporarily because they keep showing up to yell at me. I know I went out of my way to stop their adoption, and I feel awful that I hurt them, but I couldn't watch it happen knowing all Sarah needed to keep her son was the small amount of money I could easily give her. Am I the asshole?
I don't think so. No. This was for the couple, this was a recipe for disaster from the beginning, right? Because you're putting someone who's been through this and has come out so successfully from it with such a beautiful relationship with their kid.
Yeah.
And such love that they were able to have that. You know, I mean, I think when you go through life, you think of a teen pregnancy as one of the biggest fears you grew up with. As soon as you turn, you know, to middle teens, you're like, oh God, like that's like the nightmare. I mean, that's why they made a show about it. Cause it's people are like, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. But there's so many people that end up getting pregnant and having kids and just like have such beautiful outcomes.
Yeah. It's hard. It's just hard. Like, it's not that you can't be a teen parent. And it's not that like your kids are any less happy and loved, but you just struggle harder than you probably needed to.
100%.
It's an uphill battle.
It's built into you.
Yeah.
As you start to get to like a sexual age, like not that you physically cannot. It's just that you mentally, at least me mentally, I'm like, I cannot have that happen.
Well, and I also think that depends on where you come from and your culture. Because like my mom was like, you're not getting pregnant. No sex before marriage.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying it was ingrained in me.
Yeah. And so I think it just depends on your family.
But there's so many examples then that I saw of just it working out so well.
Yeah.
It just going in with this girl as kind of the one that's going to help you through it and the advice and everything. This isn't surprising this is like, actually, I kind of enjoyed it. This one almost felt wholesome to me.
In a sense, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, this is kind of great because you found someone that's struggling and, you know, through spending time with her, trying to help her, you found out, you know, maybe this isn't the best outcome for her.
Yeah.
And I don't know the legal ramifications or any, I don't know if there are, whatever.
I don't know if there are.
And
It
so
would be interesting.
I just don't know if like when you sign, however they're doing this, I've never heard of like the direct contact and like this adoption method, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a contract or I don't know what that is or if it's like kind of taking advantage of someone.
Yes.
It felt a little weird to me.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will just like get this out because I scrolled and I do see the top comment and it is with 13,000 upvotes, not the asshole. What they did was predatory.
Okay. That's what I thought, especially when I heard 19 and poor and all these things. I'm like, this sounds a little dicey.
Well, and the fact that she wasn't posting on an adoption website. She wasn't posting to find parents for her baby. She was posting on a Facebook page asking for prenatal vitamins.
Yeah. Right. So
What?
I was very confused as you were reading because I'm like, this just doesn't.
No, they're preying upon a poor girl that just wants what's best for her baby. And they're just twisting the knife with that want.
Oh, yeah. Okay. This is like very manipulative and very weird.
There's some predatory and they need to be reported. They need to be like blacklisted.
I actually kind of got there myself. I just fumbled my words to find out like, oh, this is really up.
You did good.
I just had to think through it. But I do really love the outcome. And I love that, you know, someone from wealth and prosperity is sticking out to help them and really give them a beautiful start because they know what it's like to go through it. Mm-hmm. And then to be able to go through it and not, you know, necessarily have to worry about staying alive or finances to the point where you're worried about losing your home and all that. It's a really awesome outcome. I didn't realize as you were reading it, it was like little things were sticking out to me. That's kind of like, wait. And then you just keep listening. But God, when you put them all in front of you, you're like, this is weird.
Alarm bells were ringing. And I remember when I first read it, I was like, okay, this is the way that they found her is not normal.
Yeah.
Especially for a family that does have money, that they could go through the right channels. And
I thought for a second as you were reading, I'm like, this, I just kind of went with it because I don't have a lot of experience with this. So
I don't
like,
either.
I'm like, okay. Like I almost, which is probably a bad thing. I almost kind of assumed they were doing it in an official way, right?
Yeah.
But okay.
I know, right? Like not good at all. And I just, it's just weird. And
yeah, I don't them though. This is like,
they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. But I don't know. I've ended up on like a really interesting side of TikTok lately where there's this like influencer, Brittany Dawn or something like that. And she was fostering a little baby. And I say fostering like very air quotes loosely. She's a very problematic person based on like a lot of the TikToks I've been seeing and like basically gave personal information about the birth mother that she wasn't supposed to, basically saying she's a minor. The baby got taken away for drug use, like exploiting this baby for social media content, all this shit, and kind of implying like, I'm going to adopt this baby, blah, 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 blah. And so I learned a lot through this conversation on TikTok where like fostering isn't always meant to lead to adoption. Fostering and the goal is more like reunification.
Okay, yeah.
And getting the baby back to the family.
Okay.
The birth mom, whoever, on, you know, the baby's family side. And so I've just kind of come across this a lot. But then there's been a couple of videos I saw from this little boy that was adopted. And essentially he was like sold. And so his adoptive mom in the States, the United States, is trying to now help him find his birth mom and his family. And it happens from all over. And it's just, I think there are good ways and actual like proper channels to go through adoption because there are birth parents that want to find happy, loving homes for their kids.
For sure.
But I think if you're going to adopt, go through like actual vetted ethical agencies. Like, these are little humans. These are little babies. Like, just this whole thing. It's really just weird. I
mean, like with anything, adoption is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But there's always a dark side to things. And there's things that people will always exploit and find ways to make not such a beautiful thing. But at its core, it is a beautiful thing, just when done for the right way.
Reasons.
And for the right reasons, yeah.
No, like, white savior complex stuff, too. It's a whole thing. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. It's hard. I'm, like, sitting here fumbling my words through because I'm, like, I'm not that educated on adoption. And, like, I have a friend that was adopted who is really thankful she was, but she also went through a lot of trauma because of it. So it's a fine line. And you just want to make sure that everyone comes out of that situation whole and is provided the appropriate resources and therapy and can heal and be whole, just a whole, yeah. Anyways, there are a shit ton of comments from OP.
Oh,
Oh, on the post too.
Okay. Yeah.
Like there's comments galore. Of course, post has been removed from moderators, but I still see OP's comments, which is really helpful.
Okay.
So the top one was the fact that it was super predatory, and they go on to say, good on you. Next comment down, for real, I can't get over how straight up dastardly their actions were. You can't tell me sister-in-law found that girl's post by accident. And OP...
Definitely not.
Nope. And OP says, nope, it was not an accident. So OP says, definitely not an accident. Adoption is very common in high wealth circles like my family's, and seeking out Facebook posts or even responses to job listings is very common for people who don't want the long wait of going through an agency. Okay, that is literally preying on a vulnerable community.
Yeah.
Someone goes, you did the right thing. They can always go through an agency, and if they cry about expenses, which I'm sure they may be ready, unless it was written contract, this could have ended at any time by Sarah. Sounds like they went, quote, let's find a poor pregnant woman and take her baby.
Yep.
Kind of up in my opinion. Feels like human trafficking in a way.
It does.
Which is what the video that I saw with the mom helping her son find his birth mom, she literally called it. She was like, it was really hard coming to the realization that I participated in human trafficking. Like, wrap your head around that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, wow. So there's a lot of other comments on the post. I'll be sure to post the links, but let's get into some responses from OP. Someone goes, info. Were they not able to adopt an already born baby? Is the process of seeing a pregnancy through really that important to them? OP goes, I didn't ask their reasoning for the pregnancy versus born baby thing. I know that they were very excited to go to all the appointments, and sister-in-law asked me a lot of questions about my ultrasound appointments and what they were like. Someone basically goes, not the asshole. Sarah didn't want to give up her son, but felt she had no other option. You, out of the kindness of your heart, gave her another option. Your brother and sister-in-law should go through an adoption agency if they want to adopt a child. From what you have described, what they did sounds super sketchy. And OP goes, I have to admit it bothered me from the start, but I wouldn't have offered if Sarah hadn't told me she was upset. Which, like, thank God she did.
Right. And you could see someone in that situation not speaking up, not speaking their feelings.
No.
But I guess a little props to the OP too for giving her a comfortable space to open up like that. It's a dicey position to be in. I'm so happy she had this person to confide in, because otherwise she would be giving up a baby that she doesn't want to give up. Yeah. Craziness.
And 19, my mom had my older brother Matt at 19. It is very doable.
Yeah.
Like, this baby was almost stolen from her. Literally, she almost had her baby stolen. And this is just what pisses me off, how there's not enough resources for people who, this just leads a slippery fucking slope every time.
Yeah.
But with like a adoption and abortion, and people say, oh, we'll just put it up for adoption, which that, one, is not easy. And two, like, the foster system is really messed up. And three, we should provide people the support if they want to keep their baby. Like, it's very frustrating to me. All of this.
It's tough.
Very. Just like, it's just so challenging. A lot of comments from OP. Someone deleted this one, but I do like OP's response. And they're saying, that's a big reason why I offered the vocational training. She does have a large family and plenty of friends, but I'm the only friend capable of this level of financial support. Hopefully we'll continue being friends, but if not, I still want her to have the training so she'll have career options. So not only is OP an amazing little person and helping Sarah out, like, to keep her baby, support her initially, but she's also setting Sarah up for her future, which is just such a selfless,
it's like, I think
incredible thing.
I think she sees a little bit of herself in her too. I mean, it's just, they're bonding over this experience, and she just has a good heart to say, I want you to have the experience I did.
Yeah. Someone else comments, not the asshole. And as an adopted child myself, I applaud your efforts. And OP goes, wow, thank you. That is the perspective that I care the most about, at least when it comes to internet strangers. My mother has been repeatedly telling me I stole a wealthy future from the child, on top of stealing the child from my brother. The only one, the guilt trip 101, and the only one stealing a baby from a vulnerable person was your brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah, but the mom's just as messed up too. We just found out. What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah, I hope.
A wealthy future.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know if I want these people to adopt, but God, I hope they don't. I don't think they're going to stop at this, is what I'll say. I don't think this will be like, oh, well, this one messed up and so we're done. We're not going to pursue adoption anymore. You know that's not the case. So I just hope that this time they choose to go through the appropriate channels.
Well, OP has the choice to kind of say her thoughts and not be involved, if that's what it comes to.
I agree.